Yep, and we are live. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. It is another episode of Galactic Gossip with your host, Just Your Average Joe, and my co-host Kitty. And we're gonna go right into it. Chapter 15. Chapter 15, The Believer. Episode 7, the penultimate episode, like I was talking about last week. Now, generally, why I brought that up last week was because in some series, I know Game of Thrones did this and a few other series that I like to watch, it was always the second to last episode that actually was the better episode. Like it either gave more information or it had more of a cliffhanger, something like that. So it was just I was expecting a little bit more from this episode. But that does not mean I didn't like it because I did. I actually enjoyed this episode. I believe Rick Fukuyama is the one who directed it. He directed an episode last season as well. And I'll go into some other things about it a little later, but what did you think of this episode?
I like this episode. I liked it because of all the Mandalorians to kind of come through his life and, take off his helmet and all that stuff and make him kind of see the other sides of things. It took a character like Migs Mayfeld to, rethink things and finally show his face.
Yeah,
so I found that very interesting.
And I knew this was going to happen at one point. I just didn't know it was going to happen in this episode, and I didn't know when it was going to happen. But he was getting conflicting emotions for a while now.
Of course, yeah.
When with the whole episode with Bo-Katan, and when she took her helmet off, and she basically told him you're part of a not like she didn't say you're part of a cult, but she basically said you guys are part of the Watch. And the Watch are extremists. They believe in only their way. And you can see that he was starting to feel a little, but yeah, it did take Migs to basically point him in that direction and say, listen, there are lines that we cross because we need to do the things that, we need to do. And it was good. My only issue with the episode actually happens with that. Now, I'm okay with him taking his helmet off. I'm all right with it because I was expecting it. And I understand why he did it. Like look, we all know why he's doing this. He wants Grogu back.
Yeah.
And he's going to do anything it takes to get this child back.
Yeah.
And one of the kick-ass moments of this episode, and I'm gonna show a clip of that in a little bit, was the very end. It was my favorite. It was my favorite part.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
But what I don't understand is what does that terminal face scan actually do? And I'm not the only one that felt this. So I felt this way when I watched, the episode, but then I watched other YouTubers react to this episode and give their breakdowns and whatever. But everybody said the same thing. What was that facial scan for? Because he's obviously not part of the Empire. He's not an Imperial member. So that's literally like me using your phone, right? And I can use your facial recognition to open up your phone, not because I'm not you, but because I'm not on a list of red flags to not be able to use your phone. If you understand what I'm saying, like it doesn't make any sense. What was that facial recognition for? Well, the facial, you know what I mean?
From my understanding was, if I got it correctly, was it was scanning people from, a list of blah, blah, blah. If it scans you and you're flagged, which all those, which they were saying in the beginning,
right?
We can't get scanned. We're going to get busted.
I understand.
And Migs can get scanned because he's got that background.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't trip up any flags. Din can get scanned because I don't think he's in any type of database anywhere like that.
I know he's not, but I just
face isn't anyways, because his face is not in a registry. He's under the Mandalorian helmet all the time.
Of course, yeah. No, I understand why his face wouldn't be recognized, but and Migs also made the point that he didn't want to go in because he didn't want to be recognized by that Imperial officer. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was weary of getting his facial scanned because he, even though he's in the system, he's still a part of Imperial. That's actually my only issue with the show. That was it. That wasn't my favorite. It's not my favorite. There's no way it could be my favorite episode. But the thing about this, and I was trying to think of it before we came on, and the only reason why I didn't do it is because I never asked you to do it. So I was like, all right, maybe we'll do it next week when we have all of them under our belt. was trying to kind of like rank the episodes of how I like them. And this season is hard because last season I had clear, clear favorites and episodes I just didn't like at all. I cannot
Mhm.
say that about this season. Now I can tell you my clear favorite. That's easy. But I can't say which episodes I thought were the weakest because they all were good. I actually prefer
Yeah.
this season. There were a couple episodes I liked last season, maybe a little bit more, but this season overall, I think was a better overall season. And it actually shows on IMDb. I know IMDb is really not one to, go to get that type of stats, but if you go by the ranking of each episode, this season actually has higher ranking episodes than last season. It's
So
more consistent.
I think episodes this season for me would kind of be like the episodes is kind of be like this. That's how close they are that I
Hey,
like them.
Starspeed. All right, he's gonna come in as a Jedi, but he just wanted to say hello there. But he's been waiting. Oh, as always, he's been waiting since about 11:45. And if anybody's watching this, and if you guys already haven't, if you don't even know who Starspeed is, and you should by now, look, he gives me a lot of support. He's on his Instagram account. He shared my account. He's tried to get me followers. I actually like his channel a lot. I think he does really cool things. He makes his own little videos, homemade videos basically, and some of them are really funny actually, but they're really really good. And he does what I do. He pretty much just reacts and talks about Star Wars. So if you're into Star Wars and if you're not subscribed yet, please go and check out his channel Starspeed, which is right here, and you will not regret it. So I just want to give him a little shout out. But yeah, this season to me as a whole, as I said, I just think has the better episodes. It really does.
Yeah.
Um, with the exception of, like I said, one or two. And I think the one or two I was thinking of were either the Deborah Chow episodes that I liked a lot last season and Taika's finale. I loved Taika's finale. The whole IG-11 sacrifice and the way he was kicking ass.
Mhm.
I love that episode. But and of course the reveal that Moff had the dark saber. But anything that you didn't like about this episode? Anything I said it was the terminal part with the facial scan. Again, I'm not against Pedro Pascal showing his face. I thought it was a really cool. And it was and another thing too. Bill Burr's character Migs Mayfeld is actually not only has more lines in this one, but it was just a better introduction to his character.
Oh yeah.
We got his backstory. He had a better dialogue and he had a better chemistry with Pedro.
Hmm.
And I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Called him Brown Eyes. Did
Yeah.
you catch the reference? The little Easter egg that he plugged in. I don't want to say the name of the movie, but he actually plugs a movie.
Yeah. TPS report.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely loved that. I was like, I can't believe you just said TPS reports.
Hmm.
And then those of you who don't know what TPS reports is, you got to watch the movie Office Space. Funny movie. Late 90s movie, but really, really funny. And they do that. Jedi says, "Thank you so much for the kind words, my friend. I really appreciate them, man. Your account is too cool to miss. I love coming on here and just talking Star Wars every now and then. And that's what I want. That's exactly what I want. I've been saying this since day one. I just want that dialogue with you guys. Whether it's with Kitty or anybody else I bring on here on the panel, but at the same time with you guys. Whether I'm reaching out to you live now, reading your comments live, or drop a comment later on after you watch it. Let me know what I'm doing. But let's get into this really quick. And I do want to show this. Look, this was a short episode. It was just like last week. It was a short episode. So there's really not much to say about this. But this was the show to me. This what gave me all the feels. And, it kind of made no sense because basically Mando's basically telling him, look, guess what? I'm telling you my plan. But at the same time, just in a kick-ass way. And I just want to go over that really quick and show you guys if you haven't seen it already.
Sir, you should see this.
Is it loud enough?
Make it a little louder.
I can't.
Okay. I can hear it.
Thing I want. You may think you have some idea what you are in possession of, but you do not. Soon, he will be back with me. He means more to me than you will ever know.
Love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. And like I
Like
said, when I
Baby
watched
Yoda.
that, they gave me chills.
Yep.
You know, and
He like
obviously,
threw his shit right back at him.
yeah, it's a callback to
Yep.
exactly what he said. You know, you have
Mhm.
something I want. You know, you don't know what you possess, and he's basically saying you don't know what you possess.
Mhm.
And you know, there were a lot of theories that Grogu is going to go dark, and what if he doesn't go back to the Mandal? I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to be a plot line that they use. I can show maybe conflict where he might teeter between the two, you know, because he's seen so many dark stuff as a
Mhm.
child, and that could be impactful on a child, any child. But what are your any predictions you have? Anything you think we're going to see in the next episode, the finale?
Um, it's hard to tell. They keep every time I predict something, it changes up. So it's really hard to tell.
The line Mayfeld said about how they cannot take off their helmet or not show their face is actually a genuine question I have now, which is true. He brought up a good point. So, can you not show your face, or you cannot take your helmet off? Because
Yeah.
obviously, he takes his helmet off and replaces it with the stormtrooper, which he had to do at that moment. But that is a good question. Is it that you can't show your face, or you
It
can't
was
take your...
just it was a good thing because I think it brings up the point where he's just like it's your interpretation
Thank
of
you,
the
dude.
he's like it's your interpretation of the creed, you
Yeah,
know, and you can interpret it to kind of do whatever you want, you know, to do what you have to do,
right.
you know, and that's I guess that's what got into Mando's head to say I got to do what I got to do as long as you know I'm believing what I believe, and I think that's why he took off his helmet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So, yeah. So it was really good. I that whole speech, that whole dialogue was like really good. Like that was the thing that tripped him up and goes, I got to do what I got to do, you know?
And then the dialogue between Migs and his old commanding officer, the
Oh,
old,
yeah.
you know. And so here's the thing: I don't know if you got this vibe. I actually thought Migs was going to be a sacrifice. I thought the only way Mando was going to get out of there is Migs was, and that was like the whole thing that I got. I didn't think he was going to survive. I really didn't. I thought that was his way of basically righting his wrongs, making ensuring that Mando is going to be safe and was able to get out. Because what I didn't understand is, and I don't know if you also got this too, when they're walking through all the crowd, there's so many saluting them, and they're all happy. They're the only Rhindonium or whatever it was that was delivered, and everybody was celebrating, and it was just a whole bunch of stormtroopers. And then they go into this mess hall. He shoots the Imperial trooper, the Imperial officer. Where did all those troopers go? I mean, don't get me wrong. Most of them did come in, and obviously they were attacking them and shooting. And Fennec and Cara Dune were plucking them off with the sniper rifles. But I felt like when they panned into that hall, they were almost all gone by the
Yeah.
time that trooper was shot. I was like, "There's no way." Not the trooper, the officer. I was like, "When the hell? How are they getting out of this?" I just didn't. That's why I thought maybe Migs was going to sacrifice himself. I mean, I'm glad he survived, and he's an open. It's more open now to him maybe reprising that role again in future episodes. But did you also catch that the guy that he killed, the Imperial officer, was actually the guy who played the Night King in Game of Thrones?
Oh, was he?
Yeah, not the so the Night King. So I got that mixed up too. The Night King and the one that the character that Arya kills, right, are two different people. He's the ice. What is that guy called? But the Night King was only 2 episodes, and I think that was season 5 or 6. I can't remember what season it
Yeah.
was. But the Night King was only in 2 episodes. So it's
Okay.
not, yeah, it's not hold on. Whoever played that commanding officer did really, yeah, and that's what we were just talking about, did a really good job at their role. Same with Bill Burr on this episode too. I did really like him. I didn't really like him in season 1, but yeah, I felt the same way. I mean, I did not like him in that episode. But it was really hard to put Bill Burr in that world, and 2 reasons. One, because he's known as a comic, but 2, he's even openly said that he knows nothing about Star Wars,
He knows nothing about Star Wars, yeah.
nothing about Star Wars. So it's just so weird that he's playing a
And
really
it's
cool
always funny
character.
because in his like he's known for making fun of Star Wars in his like comedy routines too. So
Yeah,
it's just like I think I like that about him. Like
yeah,
that's what I like about that character as well. Yeah.
And it's really too. He does a really good job acting like he almost has PTSD, which is true from these events, which is Operation Cinder. Now, Operation Cinder was mentioned by him, which was the Emperor's contingency plan, and that's really cool that they brought that up. It was a story mode in the Battlefront 2 video game that I played. I don't know if you played that. Have you played that?
No.
Okay. Hold on one second because a lot of things are popping up on my screen. I didn't want to lose the stream. I'm getting phone calls, I'm getting whatever, but I'm trying to dodge all of this. I'm getting right now out of all the times Adobe's like, "Hey, you want to install me?" No, Adobe, I don't want to install you. So yeah, and they're on Morak, which is that mining colony, whatever it is. And they just basically said, which is cool, it looks like Migs didn't or prisoner, whatever his prisoner number was, didn't survive the blast, and that was their way of saying, you're free to go. We're just going to pretend you died.
Yeah,
but
now 3, 4, 6, 7.
But now he's on a. How does he get off that planet? What is he going to do?
Yeah,
I mean, the options, either being a prisoner or being on the planet. I'd rather take being on a planet, but at the same time, like,
luckily it's a lush planet, so
yeah, I guess
with civilization. So there's that.
It was really cool that in the beginning of the episode, he was working, as a prisoner. He was working in it looked like, old TIE fighters and old Imperial.
Yeah,
ships.
it's the Carton Chop fields.
Yeah, you see the walkers and stuff like that. And they're basically I don't know what they're doing, dismantling, whatever. But that was actually really cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to now even more. I mean, I've been looking forward to this since the beginning of the season, but I really can't wait to see what they have in store for us next week.
It's just they set up what he said at the end. Like they set up something big, and it's just like how hopefully it's not like a 30-minute episode, because what can you do in a 30-minute episode?
I hope that
you know what I mean.
No, I think this has got to be an hour. I hope, or at least 45 minutes. At least 45 minutes. Don't give us a half hour, not for a finale.
Yeah.
And I really don't have it in front of me. Maybe I'll look it up later or whatever, but I don't know how long last year's finale was, but you got to give us because you're tying up a bunch of things, and I'm not saying they have to tie everything up. I didn't really. Oh, I missed one other comment. Let me get to that first. I think this finale is going to be insane, heartbreaking, and shocking. I think we're literally going to be on the edge of our seats for season 3. And it would make sense. It would make sense for them to want us to clamor more and just anticipate next season even more. And I really hope they don't give too much of, I saw on one YouTube channel where they predicted maybe we were going to get, instead of showing the Jedi that got the contact from Grogu, but just like the robe. And that's how they're going to end the episode. I hope they don't do that, but whatever. I did not know this, though.
Yep, it comes out exactly 1 year after this ends.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know. So many other Star Wars announcements, too, which makes sense. Look, at least Disney Plus is doing a better job this upcoming year with rolling out other content. So there's not much of a lull. Like, after season 1 of Mandalorian, we had nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah. But at least after this we get WandaVision, then we get Loki. We get a whole bunch of Marvel stuff in between before we get the Star Wars.
We get a lot of things. You get WandaVision, you got the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you get you get Loki, like you said, and then other things coming in the summer, and then hopefully we have the theatrical releases, which I really thought they were going to announce Black Widow to Disney Plus, but they're hopeful. But that's a long, long wait. I did not know that. I was hoping October, November again.
No, they're doing it 1 year after this ends, they said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense, I guess. And like I said, it makes sense.
They had a really cool poster for it. They have Grogu and like 4 pictures of Grogu and like Santa outfits, like a hat, and then cool. That was really cool. Yeah.
That is really, really cool. But yes, so we're almost there. We're a week away. We're less than a week away now from the finale. As I said, I really hope the runtime is a little longer than the last 2 episodes that we got. I hope it answers some questions. I'm okay with the open questions. I'm okay with, wondering for a year. I just hope it's not too much. But I hope more than anything.
But how did you not like when Slave One shut up the TIE fighters?
Yes. So I
That was like
forgot to
that was a nice callback too.
the prequels.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring that up. I absolutely loved that. As soon as I saw as soon as I saw the back part open, the bay open, and I saw the charger, uh, I knew what was about to happen, and I was wondering, I was hoping, and there's no way they're going to release that and not make that similar sound. Oh man, that was so cool. That really was cool. Thank you for bringing that up because, so what did you think of Boba Fett basically making his
Nice,
armor
his
brand new?
armor was nice and painted. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
like shiny.
nice. You know, it looked really cool. Don't get me wrong, but like he still has his robe under
He
there.
still has his robe hanging out. Yeah, that was still a little weird to me. It was still trippy. Like, yeah,
dude, you basically upgraded your armor or painted your armor, did whatever you did, but you still got that robe under there. Star Wars is what kept me going through 2020. I know a lot of people that feel that way. And it's so surreal to see all these shows that they announced. The first movie coming in 2023. Unfortunately, we have to wait that long. Although I've never played the game, it sounds good. Yeah, Battlefront 2. So I've never been big on online play and multiplayer. I can see the fun in that. I can, going against your friends or strangers and, being your characters that you love, like Kylo, Anakin, Luke, so on and so forth. But the story mode was actually pretty cool. And then they did they released after I think it was Force Awakens. Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was The Last Jedi. One of those two, because it came out right before one of those movies, and they waited until after that to release the expansion pack, which was more to the story. So yeah, that was kind of cool. It was. It's quick, but I did enjoy the story mode for Battlefront 2. Although Jedi Fallen Order was probably my favorite Star Wars game since Force Unleashed. I think Taika Waititi's is one of 20. I don't know how to spell it. No, it's fine. I understood what you meant. But I can't wait for Taika's Star Wars movie. I'm really excited for that. What do you think about Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins, the Wonder Woman director? She's going to be the first woman to direct a Star Wars movie. That's coming out.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, so that's one of the things they announced in the shareholders meeting. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah. A couple of days ago, they announced that Patty Jenkins, the director known for Wonder Woman and whatever, she is going to be directing a Star Wars movie, and she decided to do it on Rogue Squadron, which is basically on star pilots, the ones we don't know of.
It was just so much Star Wars stuff in one day that
it was a lot. I mean, it wasn't just that; it was Marvel. It was everything. Pixar.
Yeah, it was everything, but it was just like a whole, but not just in Star Wars itself. It was just like a whole ton of shit, and it's just hard to keep up with what they were doing.
He makes it. I actually think it makes sense that he did paint his armor, but I agree. I kind of like the battle awareness of what's the word the battle damage basically that he got from the vintage look is what I enjoy. I actually like the vintage look of his armor, but I don't mind it. Yeah, it does look badass. I just wish he would have well, he said no, it looks badass damaged. I just wish he would have changed his like we said, we would have changed his undergarment, to fit, to fit underneath better. It would have looked a little bit better.
I liked when Bill Burr saw Boba and he was like, "Oh shit!"
I thought you were the other guy.
Yeah, that's what
I thought you were the other guy. I like how Mando refers to him as Fett. You guys quick shorthand with Boba already. He doesn't call him Boba. He said Fett.
Yeah.
I'm all Jedi. I'm with you on this. I'm really, really hyped for the Acolyte.
I want to see Acolyte and Visions because I like the fact that there's going to be some type of anime thing. Like I like anime. I think that's going to be really cool. So I'm really hyped up for the Acolyte and the Visions one. I think that, especially Acolyte, I think Acolyte is kind of right up like somebody like you or mine was alley because we like that kind of mystery, that dark thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really cool.
They're hinting at it being from the perspective of the dark side.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool. And then we never got that before. We only got the Jedi's perspective when it came to the movies. Yeah. So if they do this and they do this right, plus the setting of it. Now the setting is going to be different. The setting is going to be, I believe they said in the High Republic or something like that. I think it's going to be based on that, which is before the prequels. That's what I got out of the announcement. Jedi, or if you Starspeed, if I'm saying that wrong, if I'm wrong on that, I'm pretty sure they said that the Acolyte is going to be set it in the High Republic. Am I correct? Where it's going to be, way before the prequels. Basically, when the Sith and the Jedi, like, when the origin of them. I'm not saying it's going to be an origin story, but based, back on that, like 1,000 years before the prequels.
Basically, all I know about it is it's supposed to be like, because we're so used to seeing kind of like cheesy type of thing.
Yeah.
So this one's supposed to be kind of like horror mystery thriller type and more on the dark side. And I think that's kind of like right up my alley.
Yeah, no, same. I mean, I don't wear an Imperial hat just because I like the way it looks. I mean, that was my, maybe not growing up, and I've said this before, growing up, Luke was always my favorite. You always cheer for the hero. You want the hero to win. When Vader was redeemed and he threw the Emperor down, I loved it. But growing up, I appreciated the dark side more. Not saying that I was rooting for them, but I can see both sides, and I can see, I don't know. I'm more of a dark side person now, I guess. But whatever. Yeah, he said it looks. It's going to be set in the final days of the High Republic, and they're hinting at it being from the perspective of the Sith. Yes, so exactly right. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. But my only hope for next week, and let's get to the finale really quick, and then we can wrap this up. My only hope for next week, I hope that they at least get Grogu back.
Oh yeah,
because more time spent on that ship means more time that they're taking blood from him or whatever samples they need.
Yeah.
So that's why I want him to get the fuck out. Like, get the baby off the thing. I was watching another YouTuber and they said, why the possibility they think that the theory behind that Grogu might either go dark or might be resistant to go back with Mando is because when he went into the force field, right before he channeled the force, Mando was there. But when he woke up, Mando wasn't. And then he was taken by the dark troopers. So he might have a sense of abandonment. But I don't take that because I feel like the last thing Grogu saw when he looked down was Mando looking up at him.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I mean, I know Mando used the his lens or whatever to kind of zoom in and see what the dark troopers had or, see if Grogu was okay. But I still feel like I don't feel that at all. I don't feel like he need,
They have too much of a connection and that power that the Jedi possess, it's got too much of a connection, especially with somebody else for him to not, you know what I mean? There's no way. There's no way.
I agree. I can't wait to see more of the Jedi when the Jedi were just plain good guys and just heroes. Also, the fact that the Jedi didn't even know the Sith existed and they're in hiding, being only two of them. Yeah, I agree. I hope they hint at who the Jedi is that Grogu connects with, and I hope Grogu is saved. And I don't necessarily think that Moff Gideon is going to be conquered in this episode. The finale. I can't imagine there being that much of a fight with only one episode left. Because then it wouldn't be that much of what's the word I'm looking for? It would just be
from what they built up to from the last few episodes, you still got a whole story with that dark saber.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way. So at the very least to get the child back.
Because also too, you would think that a character like a Moff Gideon, especially to conquer him, then you would need to get Bo-Katan back in. Because remember, she's looking for him too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Unless she drops in the finale, and they all fight with him. But I just feel like it wouldn't be like a satisfying. No. It would be too like not one and done, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like what's the word where it wasn't.
So my question is, didn't they hint at the character of Sabine Wren coming into this season?
They did. Well, the thing is, I don't know if they hinted at Sabine coming in, but they hinted. There was speculation that that's who Sasha Banks was playing for some reason. Okay. But I do believe Sabine Wren should be included. Like I'm still waiting for her to be mentioned as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
been mentioned.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, yeah, it's just I don't know.
What if they do? And I hope they don't, because I feel like it was done twice already. One by Endgame, and then in the Rise of Skywalker when all the ships just appeared. But like I was saying, like what if like there was a battle between Moff, Fett, Mando, Cara Dune, and whatever, right? And they're fighting, but they're losing. And then all of a sudden you get Bo-Katan and her,
If
her.
they're still following him.
Yeah, they get Bo-Katan dropping in to help. Then you get Sabine Wren, and they all start fighting like this kind of endgame. Like, hey, Mando on your left. And then all of a sudden, Doctor Strange appears. But yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Potts is over here.
too many things need to happen. That's why I don't think it's going to be finished in this finale. Wow, that's dark. I predict Moff Gideon will die by getting stabbed in the eye by the Darksaber in season 3 or 4. Okay, yes. Due to a line he said at the end of episode 6, liable to keep an eye out for one of these, and it would be poetic. Okay, that I get. Now, especially since you said in season 3 or 4. I can understand. That's why I'm saying I don't think there's no way this conflict is going to be resolved in this finale. No way. Then what happens in season 3? I mean, yes, they hinted at Thrawn being out there now too, but I think
I think so. Now
Thrawn is going to be tied into the Ahsoka
that's kind of out. Yeah, I think that's out. I think that's tied into Ahsoka's new.
And I think the Starfighter, the rain. What is the Starspeed? What's the other Star Wars show that they talked about? The Starfighter. Damn it. The Rangers.
Yeah, that Rangers one.
The Rangers one. I think Cara Dune's going to be in that. I think the guy from Kim's Convenience, Paul from Kim's Convenience, I think he's going to be in there. I think Cara Dune's character is going to go to that show. Maybe even Fennec. So I heard
Rangers of the New Republic.
Okay. I think Cara Dune's going to be in that show. She might even recruit Fennec. Fennec might even go there. Maybe Fett, because they said these are all going to be at the same time and they're all going to be tied together. Yeah, he just said that. Rangers of the New Republic. I think that's where they're going to put Cara Dune for the time being. And then, have them pop up in those shows respectively and then also together.
Yeah.
Because then you have the other one too that they had mentioned. No mention of Boba Fett though. No mention of his series yet. So that was a little odd. I'm wondering if Boba Fett might.
There was like zero mention of that. Maybe they're not doing that.
Yeah, that's what I said. So the guy from Kim's Convenience is the one. I believe his name is, what's his name in real life? Paul, not or Paul in this show. Either one. You know what I'm talking about.
Dave, is it David? David?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I like Fennec and Cara as a duo. They did pretty good. They were badass in Friday's episode.
Yeah, were.
Yesterday's episode. They were really, really cool. That's why I think they might recruit Fennec to that. And who knows? Remember, Migs is still out there too. Migs might show up in that series too. Kind of like an A-team, Never know. But yeah, so we can speculate all day, but I just can't wait to the finale. I did enjoy this episode. Definitely not my favorite, but I honestly cannot say I do not hate or dislike any episode so far this year.
No.
I don't. And as I said previously too, and I guess this is the best, I didn't say it this way, and I think this is the best way to say it. Season 1 had obvious fillers. Season 2, you can argue some had.
You know what I liked about this episode, and let me say this.
Yeah.
People keep bitching and bitching and bitching that the show cannot be good without Grogu in it.
Yep.
This episode did not have Grogu in it.
Not at all.
And it was just a Mando episode, and the fucking show is just as good.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciated about the show.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually going to bring that up. I forgot. But yeah, this is the first episode to not have Grogu or Baby Yoda at all. And again, he makes a brief appearance in the pilot. Like all you see is his face or whatever, and whatever. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you see him. This is the first full episode that we got without Grogu, and it worked. It was fine.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would now. And that was my other worry. Now I don't think this is going to happen. I hope I'm wrong, But do you think that was their way of testing the audience out to see if, wait, can this show work without Grogu? Can we kill
And I
the
think it
character
kind
off?
of helped a little bit too that you got to see that beautiful mug behind the Mando mask.
Yeah.
So maybe that I think that's kind of what real people and it's like, oh wow, we got to see Pedro Pascal as well. Like, I think that was kind of a positive as well.
I hope they
And
don't.
he did really well with
He did.
being very odd and awkward.
He
Like,
did.
I'm out of my mask. I don't know what to do.
That was really you just felt the awkwardness. You felt the tension. It was like I felt awkward watching it. I was like, oh wow, he looks and that's what was needed and we got was the comic relief from Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Calling him brown eyes, telling him that he lost, he can't hear well because of whatever. So it was great. It really I really did like and it was about the dynamics too. I liked the dynamic between Mando and Fett. I love the dynamic between Cara and Fennec, but that Migs and Mando, what do you call it, dialogue? Well, I mean, I know Migs was doing most of the talking, especially in the cargo truck, but it was so funny to watch him helmetless. It really was. It was cool. It was a pleasant surprise because I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to be taking his helmet off. I didn't know why or when, but we finally got it.
Yeah.
So
and it was just really cool because he was just like, you did what you had to do. I never saw you. And
I never saw it. Yeah. According to me, you never took your helmet off. I didn't see it. And I really do like the character. I liked the fact that he said he was part of Operation Cinder. You can see that he had empathy for losing all those men, about 10,000 men. And, the Imperial officer was just being a dick.
He's a dick,
that's what the sacrifice we needed, for the Empire to rule. And you can just tell, I'm like, oh God, he's going to shoot him. You knew it was coming. I'm like, oh fuck. And you could see
Pedro was like,
Pedro's like this, looking at him like, no, because he knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. One last comment, then we're going to wrap up. I felt that Mayfeld calling Mando brown eyes was just kind of getting a little joke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You needed that because you had that awkward tension because you got Mando like, a deer in headlights without his helmet, doesn't know how to act, doesn't know how to whatever. And also too, he didn't know how to respond because the guy's like, well, what's your name? Or, and then what's your number?
Yeah.
And that's when Mayfeld comes over and says, "Oh, this is whatever, and this I'm whatever." And we call him brown. We call him brown eyes. I loved it. I did, and I did like the episode. I did. It wasn't again. I can't say this enough. It wasn't my favorite, but there was not one episode that I can really deem as a filler, and an episode that I can't say I didn't enjoy. I have some gripes with other episodes, but I can still talk about it. I'm not crying over them. I'm not complaining over them. It's Star Wars. It's what I love. Unless an episode is going to be just complete shit, there's no way I can complain. I can't complain about anything. And I know some people didn't really like this episode that much, but I still think it was good. And we will wait and see. We got one more week, guys, until the finale. So let me know what your predictions are for next week's finale. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think we're going to see in season 3? In the season to come, because they've hinted at so many things. As we said, Thrawn. We still have yet to see Sabine Wren. You got Bo-Katan still out there. We got Ahsoka. Now she's getting her new series, so maybe she pops up every now and then. What happened to Cobb Vanth? What happened to Timothy Olyphant's character? Was he a one and done? I think he was a one and done. I don't think we're going to see him again, but you never know. He might, he might join in the fight. He might hear Mando's in trouble. I don't know how he's going to hear Mando's in trouble from across the galaxy, but, we'll see what happens. But until then, guys, if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Please hit that like button. We will greatly appreciate it. And as I said before, I'm not telling you guys not to dislike it, but if you do have to hit that dislike button, just let me know what you disliked about the show. Maybe there's something we can change about it, but we will see you again next week for our final episode of our Galactic Gossip reaction to The Mandalorian Season 2. And may the Force be with you. That's all I got to say. Anything you want to say, Kitty?
No.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there, and we will see you next week for the finale of The Mandalorian Season 2. Have a nice day, guys.